Hey friends, good evening. I'm so excited to be on live with you guys tonight. Had a couple little technical difficulties there getting myself started. Technology, it's not always the easiest. But hey, if I can do it, you can do it, right? So I'm really, really pumped to be sharing right now with you guys and talking a little bit about, turning a love and a hobby of fitness into something bigger. I know that social media is a really big thing right now. It's a huge platform. There's a lot of influencers out there, a lot of people who are super interested in fitness and, just generally health and wellness, and kind of doing all of the things that, to be totally honest, that I'm doing and my team of coaches is already doing. But you haven't necessarily made that connection to like turning that into a paid job. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I am going to jump right in. I'm super excited because I actually have slides and I'm really proud of that. So let me screen share with you guys so that you can see. And I'm also going to turn off my ringer so you guys don't have to hear that. So, okay, cool. Looks like it's showing. If you... hold on, you guys, little pop up here. It should let me do it just like that. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I made these slides today and I'm very proud of that. So I wanted to just introduce myself because I know not everybody on this broadcast with us tonight is necessarily like connected to me. Maybe you were invited by another coach and you've kind of been watching that person. You're like, what does that mean that this person is doing? Maybe that person is new to coaching. Maybe they've been around for years. Maybe they're like me and this is like, they're like a dinosaur in coach land. I keep using that word and I don't really love it, but it kind of sums it up. I've been a coach now for 6 years. And so I'm going to kind of talk about myself right now so you guys can get to know like the current Stephanie. So I'm a virtual fitness coach. I have 4 children and my hubby is Matt, and we've been married for 10 and a half years. We have 4 little ones. We had 3 kiddos in 36 months, which is crazy. And then we were like, we're done. We're not having more. And then surprise, surprise, 2 years ago, we found out we were pregnant with our little guy. So we have 4 now. We have a nice big age gap in there, and he was the best plot twist ever. And his name is Bowen, and he's just like the apple of all of our eyes. And my kids love him. And anyway, he's just the best little guy. So we have 4 now. And so I was a coach when I had Bowen, and I had been a coach for about 3 years and was kind of, cruising along doing my thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant again. And I was like thrown back into that pregnant world. And to be totally honest, my first 3 pregnancies were a blur because they were so close together. So it kind of felt like just one really long pregnancy there. And so being pregnant with Bowen, it was sort of like, what is this world again? So I sort of had to relive that and do that while I was coaching. So side note, yes, you can be a coach while you're pregnant. Yes, you can be a coach if you just had a baby. And so I know that it's tough to see that picture down below, my transformation picture. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw me post that the other day. So I was thrown back into like that postpartum world and despite my active lifestyle efforts, my body just likes to gain a lot of weight. I'm not like a super tall girl and I'm pretty petite and small framed, and my body just really has to pack on the pounds and the body fat and all of that good stuff to house the big babies that I've had. So I gained about 45 pounds with my pregnancy with Bowen. And I was also not one of those people who have a baby and the weight just falls right off with like breastfeeding and like 2 weeks of fitness. To be totally honest, I am just as of this month back to my pre-pregnancy weight. Yay! 17 months later. So I'm sort of one of those stories where it takes a lot of time. And I've had to be super patient in that process. But anyway, that was a nice little long tangent there for you guys. But I started as a coach with these 3 little ones. And they were we had 3 and 3 years. They were all under the age of, well, my youngest was probably 6 months old when I finally was like, okay, I need to get my crap together. I need to lose this weight. My body had been through the ringer with those back-to-back pregnancies. And I had a friend who was a coach, and I had no idea what that meant at the time. And she invited me to join one of her virtual fit groups. And so I was like, okay, that sounds cool. And so I started doing home workouts. I had attempted going to the gym. And first of all, it was very expensive for us at that time in our lives. And second of all, my husband worked out of state, and I'll get to that in a minute. He worked out of state, and it was really, really hard for me to lug 3 little kids with me to the gym. So it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, this is ridiculous. Like, there's got to be another way that I can lose weight and, be successful and like get back to feeling good. And so I just stumbled into home workout programs. And I had done a couple, just to let you guys know, I had done a couple non-Beachbody workouts before. I did like Jillian Michaels' 30-Day Shred. And I think there was another one that I had tried too, and I cannot remember the name, but probably some, bootleg downloaded into the internet type of workouts that I didn't pay somebody for. So yeah, I had done that and just kind of figured out my way of doing workouts in our tiny little apartment that we lived in. And I sort of fell in love. It was sort of like, okay, this is cool. I think I might like this. And so that was sort of the start of it. And I went from 400 social media followers. Now I combined all of my social media platforms there. So I probably had like 250 on Facebook, 250 friends on Facebook, like 100 something, maybe 200 on Instagram. I didn't have a business Facebook page at the time. I didn't have any other social media platforms, and all of my social media platforms were very, very private. So, and over these past 6 years, I've grown those platforms to about 50,000 followers and friends combined. So that's my Instagram, my Facebook personal page, and my Facebook like page. And that was just kind of just some tweaks that I teach in our new coach training, how you can make that switch from like having a really, really private, social media to flipping the switch and using it as a business. So that's something that you, right off the bat, I'll tell you, you don't have to worry about, because there's a ton of support and training in pretty much all areas of your coach career. So you're just going to have that support and that guidance along the way. And you really don't need to stress about that. I remember being really worried about that myself, but it was kind of just like, well, I will figure this out. And I've lost over 40 pounds. So, and I've lost 40 pounds now twice. Obviously, with after my 3rd baby, I had a lot of weight to lose. And then now with my 4th pregnancy, so 2 times, which is awesome. And I'm super proud of that. And I'm not the only one who's had that kind of success. So life before I found coaching. So I'm going to dive a little bit into like the backstory. And I told you guys that my husband worked out of state. He was once a professional baseball player. We traveled all around the country, and it was a really, really exciting time of our life. It was really amazing watching him succeed and chase his dream, and not just chase his dream, but achieve his dream. And we really built a life around that lifestyle. We lived the baseball life. We built a beautiful house on a golf course in Florida, and we really lived that lifestyle to the fullest. And one day, not everybody knows this, but baseball is a business. And once you make it to those professional levels, and one day he just didn't have a job anymore. There weren't opportunities for him to continue to play. So we were in trouble in a lot of different ways. We were near bankruptcy. We had, built a life savings, but we also had a lifestyle that was quite expensive and that we couldn't afford anymore. So after he was unemployed, I didn't have a job. He didn't have a job. Neither one of us had college degrees. Neither one of us had a resume. we had to use our life savings to survive. And we cut it real close there. That was a very scary time. We had to short sell our house, which was a huge hit to our pride. If anybody's been in that situation, it was terrible. I mean, that was the home that we brought our first two babies home from the hospital to. And so to have to walk away from that, you know, it was just like, in so many ways, it was just so difficult for us. We moved across the country to Arizona and downsized into an 1,800 square foot house. So for a family of 5, hey, it was cozy and it was all we really needed. It was shelter, and we were so thankful for that. But going from, you know, a 3,600 square foot house down to 1,800 square feet was quite a perspective change, for lack of a better words. And so it's just like not a good time for either one of us. I was overweight after having those 3 back-to-back babies, and I'm a self-proclaimed Debbie Downer. I always talk about, like, if you guys have like Time Hop or, you know, Facebook memories or whatever, seeing my posts and things that I, you know, put up on Facebook from 8-ish years ago, 6 years ago, I was just like, wow, you were real fun back then. So I was depressed. I was a Debbie Downer. We had a very stressed marriage because, I mean, financial strain is huge in marriage, and that puts couples through the ringer in more ways than one. And we're definitely living proof of that. And thankfully we powered through that, and we're stronger than ever. But it was a really, really hard time for both of us. We had to borrow money from family to get by. And like I said, I had a private social media. So I kind of, you know, was not the picture of somebody who was gonna succeed in life. Like, I really was the person who was waiting to have things fixed for her. You know, I was waiting around for life to change. And I wasn't really that type of person who thought that not only that I didn't really have the desire to make changes myself, but also that I could. You know, I didn't really know that I could. And so I kept watching this friend who invited me to that challenge group, and she invited me a million times to her team. I didn't know what that meant. You know, you should be a coach. And I thought, what does that mean? So I sort of stumbled into coaching, and let me tell you, there's a lot of in between there, about 6 to 8 months of saying, absolutely not. I'm not going to do direct sales. I like shivered at the thought of that. I had like dabbled in that a little bit in years past and had failed, and I refused to do that again and fail again and like be that girl who was selling stuff on the internet. However, I was falling in love with fitness in the process. And, you know, it was apparent to me that this opportunity kind of kept presenting itself, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. And finally, it was just like both of those sides of my life sort of collided. It was like, I really love fitness. We're broke and miserable. And I'm seeing this friend do well in her life, and I kind of want to get in on that. So I messaged her one day and I said, how can I do that? You know, tell me what to do. And like, how can I get started? So I love the quote, we have to continually be jumping off cliffs and developing wings on the way down. And I'm not talking literal cliffs. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys, yeah, like you have to just jump off a cliff and it'll be great. What I'm saying is sometimes you don't know what's in front of you and you can't see what's out there. And you don't have all the answers, and you're scared and you're nervous that it's going to be bad and it's going to be scary and you might be judged and what people will think and what your family will think. But sometimes what's on the other side is so great that if we don't just jump and find our wings on the way, we're missing out on so much life. And that's truly what happened in my life. So, you know, it was I was sort of the typical, like, asked all of the questions that I continually get from my, you know, coach prospects and people I talk to on a daily basis who want to join but are scared and have legitimate concerns about, like, how they could make it work. And mine was, what if I like fitness, but I'm not actually fit? You know, I was doing these home workouts and I was having fun and feeling good, but I still had like 20 pounds to lose until I would hit my goals. And I was really nervous about that. Like, how are people going to think that I'm legitimate, and how are people going to trust me? And like, how can I actually coach somebody if I don't really look like a coach, like whatever that means, air quotes, right? And I was really nervous to turn people off and act like I was some overnight fitness guru when I really didn't know anything. And I'll tell you right now, you guys, 6 years into this, I am still not a fitness guru. I am just somebody who likes fitness, and I like people, and I like to help people also feel good because I feel good. And that's literally what coaching is. And so I overthought it like crazy in the beginning. You know, as a brand new coach, I still had 20 pounds to go to reach my goals. And most of our new coaches start the same way. And these pictures that you guys are looking at are coaches from our team, like current coaches right now. These are pretty up-to-date pictures. Amy in the top right is incredible. She has even more incredible pictures now. I know that most recent one is from 2017, but you guys should see her now. She's ripped, and it's incredible to see. That's Lauren in the top left. That's Joseph, bottom left. And I'm just like blown away, honestly, by these results. These are all coaches who are doing their thing right now. And Joseph was actually on stage at our annual coach event as a finalist to win $100,000. So side note, you can enter to win a lot of money for your fitness, even as a coach, even if you're not a coach. It's really, really cool what is possible as far as, I'm waving to my kids right now because they're screaming outside of my office. Sorry guys, mom life going on in the background here. So these are all coaches, and all of us start somewhere. And honestly, I'll be totally honest, I think it's really the most powerful and the most inspirational when you can be in there with somebody and you can help people from where you're at. You don't have to be perfect. People don't want somebody perfect. They want to have somebody who's going to hold their hand. They want to have a workout buddy. Anybody can be a workout buddy. You do not have to look like a fitness model. And frankly, it's better if you don't. And if you do, that's awesome too. But I'm just saying, like, the most common concern that I hear is like, well, I can't coach somebody because I don't look like whatever a coach is supposed to look like. So, so I just wanted to kind of hit that one while I could. So what do we actually do as fitness coaches? Really, like I just said, it's really just helping other people fall in love. Hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry. This is live right now. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. So what do we actually do as fitness coaches? We focus on personal development. That's a huge, huge thing. I really hope you guys heard me just yell at my kids right now because it's mom life. This is live. We share our journey. That's really how I use social media, is really just like focusing on sharing my journey, being authentic. I think that the one mistake that I see is people trying to fit into a box and try to be like other people. And that's like the biggest mistake, because it's like there's a million people and you can be a copy of something or you can be an original. And I think it's just the most powerful thing to be an original. And people want to hear your story. It's that connective tissue. So if you're like a dog mom, or if you're a runner, or if you love travel, or if you like love coffee, or you love fashion, like all of those things connect you to other people. And the fitness and like the coach opportunity and the business stuff, that's all kind of a byproduct, and that's sort of secondary. But I think the biggest thing is like connecting. For me, it's connecting to other moms. It's connecting to other people who are busy and who are trying to just make fitness work and build a business and do something bigger, you know, and just be happy. I think that's like one of the biggest things too. You lean into the team for support and training. We have all the tools. I mean, I can't stress that enough, but you have every little piece of empowerment that you could possibly have right at your fingertips, whether it's from our team itself or whether it's from your coach online office that you'll have as a coach, that Beachbody as a company provides. So you have literally all of the tools, and it's just what you do with them, you know, that matters. It's just kind of putting them into play. And again, I come back to like finding your wings on the way down. You can have all the tools and you just have to go for it. I think that's the biggest thing. So we help others succeed and reach their goals. Oops, I skipped over a really, really important one. We invite in a non-spammy way. I don't know if you guys have been, I hate to use the word victim, but if you've been the victim of the spammy messages in your Instagram inbox or Facebook inbox where people are like, hi, thanks for the follow. Do you want to buy this? You know, and it's just like, you don't even know me. You haven't even taken a second to get to know who I am. What if I already use those products? What if I don't? What if I'm allergic? Like you don't even know. So we don't teach that. I, in fact, teach you to do the exact opposite. Like don't do that. It's really just about being authentically you, being transparent, sharing your victories, sharing your struggles, and using social media as a tool to achieve those goals. Celebrate achievements. We love celebration. And actually today's Thursday. It's one of our favorite days of the week because this is when people rank advance. This is payday. We get paid weekly. So it's just always a really happy celebration day. You get public recognition, which is super fun. And there's even recognition, stage recognition at our annual coach events, which are amazing and life-changing. And you can meet up with us on free trips. So you can also earn those free trips just from working your business, which is so much fun. And I want everybody to come with us. So I also get this question a lot. So how do I start earning an income? And I know this is a big one because everybody wants that. And that's part of my new coach training that's provided to the whole team, is starting to get those wins right away. Like we want to help you hit the ground running and build a business right from the start. And to be totally like, to break it down, anybody has the power to build a 6 or 7 figure income business just like me. Anybody can. And in fact, multiple people on our team have. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of them. We have coaches who are building their dream houses, who've just moved into their dream houses, people who have, you know, gone from 1-car families to 2-car families, people who've paid off debt, people who can take their kids to Disneyland and Disney World, and live honestly just like their life of freedom. And so whatever that looks like to you, that is possible by how many people you directly help. So our income is a direct reflection of how many people we help. And I love that because it's really up to us. Like this is our business and everything is right in the palm of our hands. It's what we do with it that counts. And so if you just lean into that training that we provided and work one-on-one, I love working one-on-one with my coaches. We have like little pods. I know so many coaches within our team have those success pods too. So whoever invited you to this webinar, like get with them, talk to them. If it's me, that's awesome. We can connect and talk about that. If it's another coach, talk to them about how they onboard their new coaches and help their new coaches get started. But really, it's all kind of the same across the board. You get your hand held and we're there for you to help you. And we want you to succeed. That's like the bottom line. We have a 25% commission on everything we sell. So all products, and that's from the get-go. That doesn't change. You don't lose that. I know there are some companies where like you have to earn a certain commission percentage bracket, and that's not how Beachbody works, which I love. 25% commission as a day one coach and 25% commission 6 years in, 10 years in, and you get a 25% discount. And that's the same across the board. You also don't have to, work to earn a higher or lower one. I don't understand how that works, but ours is 25 and 25. So 25% discount. There's a lot of people who just want the discount. And so maybe that's you. And so we can talk about that too. Follow our simple training videos and process, which I kind of talked about a little bit. There are also team bonuses based on volume of sales if you decide to build a team. So your first rank is Emerald. You guys, if you follow us, you probably have heard of Emerald. It's your very first rank advancement, and it's literally by building a team of 2. So sponsoring your very first 2 coaches to build this business with you. You get to rank advance and you start earning volume of sales. And your team bonuses grow. And I would say that's about 98% of my income now is those team bonuses. We have 0 quotas or stocking products, and which I also love because I don't think that there should be a requirement. I feel like everybody has their own style of building this business. I think the goal should always be to help people, but there shouldn't be any requirements as far as like how much you need to sell. We don't stock products. We don't ship products. You can if you want. If you want to send samples and cute little goodie bags to people you love, that's totally fine. But the products I have in my house are products that I consume, or my kids consume, or my husband consumes. So yeah, I don't stock anything or have to keep anything stocked at all. I'm going to show you guys a couple of older slides that I really love. Different strokes for different folks. And I kind of touched on this a little bit. There's a bunch of different, types of coaches. I mean, it takes a lot of people to make up a team of almost 15,000 people. And so we have coaches who are like, I just want the discount. I love Shakeology. I want to drink it on a regular basis. Don't want to sell anything. I want the 25% discount because it's worth it to me. And even with, and we'll get to business stuff in a second, but even with that monthly fee, you still save, it's almost 20 bucks actually. So I love that you have that option. There's also like a hobby coach. Maybe you have a full-time job, you love your job, but you also love products and you enjoy sharing them with others. And you make a couple extra bucks. So it's kind of like having a, side hustle, you're just like, I want to do my thing. We have full-time teachers, we have full-time nurses, we have military people, we have police officers, we have, it takes all kinds. So there's every different type of person makes up our team. Some of them work full-time, some of them don't. So maybe that's you and you're like, well, I love my job. I have no intention of leaving it. Or I'm in school and I have to focus on that. And so you need a side hustle and you can do that too. And then there's the business builder, which is somebody who's really all in to make this their eventual full-time job, build a life of freedom, build a 6-figure income, pay off debt and all of those good things while building a team that's doing the same. And that's really the kicker, is like really helping other people build this business too. And that's what we're here for as well. So you don't have to, if you're like, yes, I want to build a team, I want to jump right in and be a business builder and a team builder and all of those things. But how do I train people that are coming into my team? That's where we come in. No sweat. Like that's what we're here for. All the tools are there for everybody. So that's for you, for anybody you bring into the business, they're taken care of. That's just how this works as a team. It's teamwork makes the dream work, right? So what our team provides. So we've touched on this a little bit too. We have personalized training, which I think is really special. So there's Beachbody training that's at your fingertips in the online office that you'll have. But we also have our own special little training groups. Every leader kind of runs things a little bit, their own style. The way my group works is I have just a handful of videos that get you started and give you kind of like that starting point to get your business launched. And it's really personalized because most all of us work one-on-one with our brand new coaches, whether it's in like Facebook, success pods, one-on-one, text message, Instagram DMs, email, like there's literally every mode of communication. And depending on your goals and what you want to achieve, or if you kind of want to hang back and be that hobby coach or that discount coach, that's totally cool too. So it's really personalized to like what you want to achieve. Group and one-on-one mentorships, weekly and monthly calls. We actually just had a monthly call this morning and it was mind-blowing, amazing. And we love to use a program called Zoom, which is kind of like a virtual chat room. So it's like FaceTime, but group FaceTime. It's really, really fun to see everybody and chit chat, ask questions, answer questions, brainstorm, get inspired, all of those things. We have the opportunity to learn and grow a limitless income because it really is a business you can tailor to you. A positive and uplifting team community, which is 100% true. It's really been a bright spot. I've heard this multiple times over the last few weeks that from people who've been through a lot in the last few years. And if you guys follow me, you know, I talked about my pregnancy, total surprise, postpartum journey, rough. I'm not somebody who's like the most graceful. I wish I could be more graceful through the postpartum journey, but it's really rough for me. I don't do well with lack of sleep, all of those things. And so that was a hard part of my life. Also, 2 years ago, I really suddenly and unexpectedly lost my brother. And at 26 years old, he left us. And not having him in this world is a really, really heartbreaking thing. And you know what? Through all of those life events, not only did my business not go away, I didn't lose anything. My paycheck was established at that point. I had really built that foundation for myself and my family to sustain us through the unexpected like that. And not only that, but this community of people lifted me up and picked me up. And I have some of my absolute best friends in the world because of Beachbody. Like, truly, our coaching team is an extension of my family. So sounds great. How do I get started? I know I get that question a lot. Okay, cool. Yeah, enough of the fluff, like get to the point. And the point is, it's really, really simple. We'll get you started. There's a almost $40 coach sign-up fee and a $16 monthly business service fee. Those are both waived for any military veterans, spouses, and active duty. And non-military can get that sign-up fee waived by starting with the essentials. It's technically called a challenge pack, kind of like a starter kit for a strong start. And I love this quote: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what my team just like sums up to me. This team is family and we're in this together. And this challenge pack is just kind of like that toolkit to get you started. You're going to get a year membership to our, we call it the Netflix of fitness. It's literally like this online workout library. You're going to get your choice of Shakeology, or I love vegan Shakeology, or you can also do one of our performance stacks. There are bigger packages available, which are, you know, awesome starts as well. But I would say this is probably the most popular package. If you guys are interested, you can hit up the coach who invited you to this. I'm going to stop my screen share now so you can see me. And I just want to thank you. I tried so hard to wrap this in 30 minutes because I know I have a short attention span. And so I assume a lot of other people do too. So I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in. I want to talk a little bit about what's possible. And I talked about my story. If you guys tuned in a little bit late, you missed the beginning, which is fine. This will be recorded and on my YouTube channel. But life before coaching was rough. And I didn't really realize what I was getting into when I first signed up. I had seen my friend, my coach, you know, have some success. I remember she bought a Bob jogging stroller, a double stroller, and she like paid cash. And I was like, whoa, those are expensive, you know? And I just thought, well, that's cool, you know, those like small things. And then I remember when I first started and I was able to go to Whole Foods and like buy organic groceries, like organic berries and produce and things like that. And I just thought, okay, this is a big deal. Like these little things are like a really big deal. And walking into Target and not necessarily having to run by every single dollar that I was going to spend with my husband. We've all been there maybe. And then I remember paying off our first credit card. And then I remember going from one car to two cars. We had to sell one of our cars. Forgot to mention that in that mess earlier. So we got to buy a car, and then we decided to build a house, and then we had a place to live that was ours, you know, that we could paint the walls. Like we could rip out carpet if we wanted to. I hate carpet, by the way. I want to rip it all out. We got to put a pool in our backyard. And I'll tell you right now, like I said before, our income is a direct reflection of how many people we help. So I can't sit here and guarantee that you're going to be able to build a house and you're going to buy cars and you're going to pay off your credit cards and all of those things. But what I can tell you is that if you follow the path that has been, you don't have to navigate it alone. Myself, other leaders on our team, we have like navigated all of the ins and outs of this business. So, you really have people to hold your hand through this. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to figure it out all by yourself. So if you just follow that path and you listen to the tips and you tune into that training and you follow along with those weekly calls and those monthly Zooms and all of those things, and you lean into the community of coaches and you really, really see yourself like going in, working hard, leaning on your team, and turning that fitness into a business. Like, why not? So many of us are already using social media as, you know, influencers and things like that. And we're trying to grow those platforms. So why not have an outlet where we can actually earn a paycheck, you know? And so to me, it just like goes hand in hand. I talk to people all the time. I'm like, you're working out and you're sharing your workouts on social media. You're literally doing what I do. So you should be a coach. And so it's a no-brainer to me. So I also remember, and I love this, somebody told me this the other day. It was like that starter kit. I thought, I don't know if I can afford anything. We had to sell stuff on Craigslist to literally afford like life. We had to borrow cash from my in-laws to buy diapers and formula before I was a coach. And we could not afford Shapeology. We couldn't afford anything extra. I bought box hair dye and painted my own nails and like all of those things just to like cut costs as much as possible. But somebody said it best the other day. They said, a lot of people say that they can't afford things when they really can't afford not to invest in those things, you know, and that was so true for me 6 years ago. It was like, I knew that it was going to be a stretch and I'd have to put this on a credit card or I'd have to sell some random crap from around my house, but I couldn't afford not to invest in this business. And truly, like for $40 or for the starter pack, which they start at like $160, I get it. That's money, you know, that could go to some other thing, but can you turn that $40 or that $160 into a 6 or 7 figure income business? Any other way? Like if you go to Target and blow, I mean, I can blow $160 at Target with the best of them real fast, but I can't turn that into something that can provide for my family, you know? And I think that that's the biggest thing, that sometimes we look at money with the wrong perspective, and that we're looking at investments with the wrong perspective. So to start a full blown freaking business that you are in control of and that you can take time off from if something, God forbid, happened to a family member, or you wanted to go on vacation in 2 years because you've worked your butt off to build this business. Guess what? That's your business. And you turned that $160 into something so incredibly big that it's like so mind-blowing, you guys. And obviously I'm very passionate about this and I want everybody to do this because it's life-changing stuff. It's not just selling a product. I'm not just slanging some shake. I'm not just DMing people mindlessly on Instagram trying to like make a quick commission. Like I'm trying to change people's lives. And I know that that's the approach that our team tries to take or does take. We don't just try, we do. So with all of that said, I went over my 30-minute limit for myself. I was trying to beat a personal record and I didn't do it, but I'm so thankful for those of you who are still listening. Grateful for your time, grateful for, just hearing me out. And if you have any questions at all, if you're ready to get started, if you still have fears or hesitations that we need to work through, reach out to the coach who invited you to this webinar. If it's me, you know where to find me. If it's another coach, reach out to them. And I'm so thankful, you guys. Have a wonderful night. And I'll talk to you all soon. Good night, guys.